is so interesting, and artists are starting to pick up on this language. So I've talked about the Kia Asylum a couple of times. The Kia Asylum is, and the thing is, my recent revelation about it has been that it's a very misogynistic term because there are
Yes.
no men in the Kia Asylum.
Yes.
And let me tell you, there are plenty of men that are in the Kia Asylum
Yeah.
currently or exist permanently in the Kia Asylum, and they don't get this kind of like obsessive focus on them flopping that women
Yes.
get. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about seeing when people describe what you're doing as like flopping or being in the Kia Asylum? Does it feel like restrictive to you? How does it resonate with
I have
you?
a lot of thoughts about it
Mhm.
because, first of all, I was so shocked when people kept saying Kia because it's about Kaya,
Kaya, right.
the rapper, My Neck, My Back. And I think
Legend.
that hell, we still talking about her.
We still talk
Her
about her.
record, she got records. That My Neck, My Back is a hit.
Yeah.
And I think even that is backhanded in itself to name it after this extremely phenomenal. I just put my own foot in my mouth.
Yes.
But this extremely talented, incredible, like pillar in the black community and in black rap music. And then it's this weapon
Hmm.
that targets only women and a lot of black women. Let's be real. So I think it's a little strange. But one thing about it, I think it's just funny for people. And I think it should remain funny.
Hmm.
It should remain a meme because now it's evolved to where it's this thing where it's like even the most successful, somebody could be the most successful artist last year and now they're back in the Kaya Asylum.
Today you're in it. You never know when you're going to escape
So
it, I
I'm just like,
suppose.
what is it really? I think it's nebulous. And I think it's nebulous and I do think it now it's just like a na 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 na. I think it's a tool to bully
Hmm.
artists and have power over them. It probably used to mean something, but now I think it's nonsense. I feel like I can't be in the Kaya Asylum. I have Grammys and world record music. I have
It's
number ones.
ridiculous
I
when you
have
say
a diamond record. I am a successful
Truth Hurts went
artist.
diamond today. I don't know
Truth
if we
hurts is
mentioned that.
truth hurts is diamond.
So Kaya Asylum where?
Where I can't be, I think there should be criteria.
That having a Grammy is for sure. You cannot
Yes,
be in the asylum.
you
You're
just
not there
can't be in the
anymore. No,
asylum.
like a diamond, a platinum record.
Grammys,
Hello.
diamond records, platinum records, number ones in the Guinness World Book of Record. I can't be in there. I'm impervious to it.
Hmm.
Save that for the one hit wonders. No
Or the
shade.
no hit wonders. That's really who belongs there, and it's no shade to them because the beautiful thing about the asylum, I suppose, is that you can climb your way out at any time. Um,
I am Savvy Mike in this. Is I am Savvy Mike TV, and yes, it just got a little fruity. It just got a little fruity over here, but don't worry, it has some purpose. This is an interesting interview that Lizzo did with whoever this guy is. I don't know what's going on here. Like I think it was his channel's called Swiftologist. I guess he's a Swifty. Who knows? As far as for me, I'm sure somebody out there cares, but as far as for me, who cares, right? Regardless of it, I'm here to really dig deep into what Lizzo had to say here about her flopping because she kind of addresses all of that in a sense in these next I want to say 10 minutes of talking. She addresses her flopping and kind of how the label could have helped but really couldn't help in a sense, and where we kind of are as far as music and just honestly content in a sense goes, like where we've come. Like a lot has changed in the past 3 years. Like usually usually things evolve over time, yes, but usually it takes time. Like usually it's not so quick, it's not so fast, and for 3 years time, right? Ever since honestly I started really consistently doing this channel, it's kind of crazy how it all lines up. But ever since then, like the industry, even with what I'm doing, what's going on in hip hop and rap, it's all fucking changed. It's all changed. So I feel like this conversation here is an important one. I think people need to hear it. I think, and I kind of listened to most, like at least this middle part of where she was really getting into everything. But at first I went, "Oh, well, I ain't got to really talk about it," but it is a lot in here that I think people should hear. And so I'm being the messenger if you haven't heard it. Because yes, this is Lizzo addressing her flopping, like with her new album, and kind of diving deep, like I said, into where we are as far as promotion goes with music, as far as how it's distributed, as far as how it's discovered. And like I said, I thought this was a very interesting conversation. Let's continue to listen.
You sure can.
You
And you
can.
know what, baby? You know what? I'm climbing my way out. How about that? If I'm in the Kaya asylum, I'm climbing my way out.
Period.
But I don't think that I think that I'm impervious. I'm like, do you know who my father is?
I 100%
I get a
agree.
slap on the wrist.
Yes, you get a slap on the wrist, and then you get free to go back on your non-asylum days.
Yes.
But how do you feel in June 2026? Like, how do you feel? How do you describe where you are in your career? Like a real answer, not like a PR line.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the weeds a little bit. I had so much fun last year when I dropped My Face Hurts from Smiling. I think that was the most fun I've had as a pop artist in the last since Special.
Wow.
That was the most
Okay.
fun I've
Yeah.
had. And even writing was really emotionally exhausting for me because I wrote like over 120, 150 songs.
Oh
And
my
like,
God.
I've been writing since September 2023 for this album that just came out in 2026. And I had to span every emotion and come back to me again. And that's work. That's emotional labor. My Face Hurts from Smiling, I did in a week. And I was like, oh, I'm popping my shit. This is so fun. And I want to get back there. I think right now, dropping the album, I took it to heart really, really heavily. Not because I wanted to be like back again, but because I just felt like the music was so good and I just knew that the stories would connect with people if they chose to discover them. And I still feel that way. I still feel like people, when they consume and discover the music, they'll feel an emotional connection and be like, oh, actually, whoa, she stole my man. I hate this forever.
Mhm.
Like, what a record. Like,
Whose hair is that?
this?
Ah,
Like,
that
don't
song
she?
killed
She was like,
me.
whose hair is this? Whose hair it is? Like, give me an opportunity to sing that song live and you will fall in love with it. And that's
And I think that was the craziest part about it all, like with her flopping and everything like that. It was some really good music on that album. It's not like Lizzo lost a step. It's just, I guess, as she will explain soon, she wasn't as connected with the audience of today as she thought she was.
how I feel about all of the music. I can't wait for people to discover it. I'm not going to rush you.
Mhm.
There's no rush for you to fall in love with this music, honey. I've never been that raw. So I think right now, I kind of hurt my own. This is the non PR. I hurt my own feelings.
Mhm.
And I was really stressed and I was really sad for a few days because I just was like, wait a minute. This is like some of my best stuff. Like, I want people to find it. And I had to come to terms with the fact that not only is the music industry different in the last 3 years, and we need to talk about that. We need to talk about the radio aspect that I got my chewed out for, but it's
Mhm.
happening and it's true. But also my relationship and my connection musically with the world is different. And I think I had to kind of mourn that. And now I was like, shake it off. Chin
Yeah,
up.
you have
Shake it
to.
off.
You have to
Shake
shake
it
it
off
off.
and move forward. And that's why I'm in the studio today because I'm like, okay, well, what are you gonna do?
Keep
You
going.
have to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, you described it earlier as surfing, and it must be really jarring to go from record of the year, this like insane arena tour, to all of a sudden like having to really scrap for
Yes.
people to give you a minute. So I wanted to ask the label situation, like the traditional structure that is supporting artists is failing, I think, or it's changing in a way that is not useful to every artist. So from the outside, I think for everybody, it looks like you went from an artist that you were an artist that a label would move heaven and earth for, right? Like they would give you all these campaigns, these huge TV looks, like as much as you want, basically for whatever you want to do. And now we're hearing you on socials being like, my label isn't promoting my album. When did you kind of feel the shift from you're a priority to you're on your own, or you need to prove to us that you deserve this?
I'll say this about my label currently. I do believe I'm a priority in the building,
Hmm.
but I think what they're able to do is significantly, and when I say significantly, I mean significantly less than what they were able to do even 3-4 years ago, 5 years.
Right.
What she's basically saying in a way that she can't really say is that the budget decreased. Like the budget wasn't the same. Like she had a lot more money put into her 3 to 4 years ago, even 5 years ago, than she does now. And so with that happening, they can't spend the money that they used to spend on Lizzo. And honestly, that goes into a lot too as well. Because if you don't know, Atlantic, that's the label she signed to. They changed, like it's a whole different head there and executives there and whatnot. So it's not the same group of people that were there when Lizzo was first in the building. So the people that are there now, they just see her as a commodity and less of, no, this is a talent that we should push and put to the forefront because she's actually really good and she's really talented. They're more so looking at, well, she doesn't get the algorithm going, she's not really in the press, and she has no publicity around her, and so they're looking at the hype around her instead of like really diving deep into what mattered before, and that was the music. So yeah, your budget decreases when they see that, well, you don't have the same pushing power, or at least without our help you won't have that same power. Like if we don't push the buttons that we did 5 years ago, and then, well, it looks how it looks now, unfortunately. And so I think this is really them just using Lizzo as an example of, look, you artists on our label better play nice with us, or we'll have you out here flopping like and looking crazy like Lizzo. And then when you eventually leave and eventually get out the contract and are on your own, and we still own the masters of all your most successful songs and records, and you got to go get it on your own now. Yeah. So, it really is probably a lashing to kind of get Lizzo in check as far as the label is concerned. And that's probably what she's not seeing. And unfortunately, I hate the fact that that's what she has to go through. But this just might be just the harsh truth of it all.
Ago for an artist,
Mm-hmm.
for an artist of my size, for a smaller artist, especially the smaller new artists,
How do you break through?
you have to do it all on your own. I was having a conversation the other day with my label, and we were talking about the album. We were talking about how many eyes are on me, how many people are talking about my album, how many streams I get on social media and views, I mean, of like
Good press
The
too.
hype, I
great
told you.
press.
Mhm.
And it doesn't convert to streams overwhelmingly.
It
And I
doesn't.
was like, where's the disconnect? And they were like, well, that's in the hands of the people. And I remember and I was like, whoa. I was like, y'all, it's 2026. In 1996,
It-
2006,
Mhm.
even
2016.
2016,
I was just about to say.
they would have never said that. They would have been like, oh no, we got you.
We'll try this. We'll do that.
We'll try that. We'll try that. But now literally everything is in the hands of the people. So I think I was just like really emotional and really upset because I had a
And I will say this too. Lizzo was getting looks. Like it wasn't like Lizzo wasn't getting looks. Like she wasn't like actively being put in certain places to kind of So hey, it's Lizzo here, album coming out, blah 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 blah. I'm like, she was getting looks. It's just it wasn't like the label said, it's not translating. Like, yeah, you're getting these looks, but people don't care. And I think that's the problem. And so you do think about it in that way, and you go, well, maybe this is just a reality check for her. People, you thought people cared as much as about your music as much as you it seemed like they did in the beginning, and when the label was really like behind you and making sure that people cared, like you thought that it worked, but now you're at a point in your career where you had your. That's what I'm saying. Runs don't really last long in this generation. If you truly think about it, a run like artists will probably have a good year, 2 year run, and unless they're like actively still producing good music and like at a consistent rate too, then you're fucked. And maybe that's what happened too. Like Lizzo, she couldn't afford to take a break. Like she had to keep her foot on the neck. Once you got your finger in the pulse, you had to keep it there.
Meeting a month prior where I had said all these ideas. Me and my creative director, we had all these cool ideas for like billboards and like hotlines and like interactive things. And a month later, I was talking to my creative director and he was like, yeah, why haven't they implemented any? And I was like, yeah, why haven't they? And I was like, what's going on? My album's coming out soon. And I freaked out. And I went on the internet, because no one answered the phone. Oops.
Oops. Well, if no one's answering the phone, what are you supposed to do?
Classic Lizzo. Crying in a wig cap on the internet. But I did. And I think like after coming back and like actually breathing and thinking about it, it's not about the label just being like, Lizzo, you're not a priority. It was just like, Lizzo, this is what we're able to do. And it's not as much as we used to be able to do.
The situation has just changed.
I'm not the only person experiencing it. I'm just the only one talking about it.
And that's so important because I don't understand why it has to be this big secret that the labels are limited in what they're able to do, that the landscape is shifting. And if we don't talk about it, then I think artists don't get a chance to really have their music go further than a one shot.
Yeah.
And the beauty of social media is that you can have so many different shots.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you, like, how direct have you been behind the scenes? Like, are you literally in rooms saying, why are you not spending money on this project? Or why can't I have this? It sounds like you are.
And I also want to say my label in particular, they are keeping up with the times. Atlantic Records, I think, is very like they're like their fingers on like the pulse and they're just like trying to keep up.
They're trying a lot of different things. I will give that to them.
It's moving so quickly that it's almost like it's virtually impossible to keep up. The music industry used to change. Like, I remember they told me like every 3 to 6 months. Now it's like every week.
Actually, it is like every week now that I think about it. I don't know how as an artist you can even keep on top of all the different, and because technically it's like there's so many things you can try and do, right? But at a certain point, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's like, well, how do I know what is actually going to stick? You don't. You just have to keep throwing stuff.
I mean, in 2023, TikTok used to mean,
and that's what I was thinking about too. I was wondering, I was like, I was noticing that a lot of artists would just drop music video and single and song after song after song with no like project attached to it, no any of that attached to it. It's just, here's the music. And so it just felt like, oh yeah, no, they're throwing shit at the wall and hoping it fucking sticks. And then you even got somebody like Young Miami as an example. I felt like she was gearing up to throw shit at the wall and hoping at some point something stick. And she threw one song out there. It didn't work how she thought it would. And then she threw Spin That out there, and it's becoming what it's becoming. And it's just kind of like that's what, like, now the label is basically competing in the lottery. Like, they're in the lottery. like they're throwing songs, music videos at the wall. Like, oh, this sounds good. This sounds like this could be something. Let's see if the people like it. Like, they're concerned about us, I guess. And that's good. I think we should have more power in determining what is being put. But at the same time, too, like the music industry is such a big conglomerate that it could afford to like really invest in the artists, really invest in their art, especially if they believe in it, and see where it goes. Unfortunately, it's not about that. It's about, okay, if you have this hype around you, then we'll invest in you and see where it goes. Fuck if you're good at what you're doing or not. Like, fuck if you can rap, fuck if you can sing, fuck if you're talented, fuck all that. Can you generate numbers and streams, which in turns make us more money? Can you do that? And that's what they're looking for. That's the only question they're asking at this point.
Something for streaming, and now in 2026, 3 years later, it means nothing.
We have YouTube videos. They don't count for streaming
YouTube doesn't count
anymore.
as of this year. Like, y'all.
Which is going to kill the art of the music video, can I say? That's a real disappointment that I've seen in this new iteration of the music industry, is that visuals are really deprioritized.
Yes.
And visuals bring it to life. Pop
Yes.
is about like circumstance and performance and like camp and being
Yes.
extra. And not having that is a real disservice to, especially an artist like you, who
Yeah.
has you have such a presence that is translated even better when you're able to show your aesthetics and
Yes.
show us your vibe and your look. Like, you have some iconic music videos.
Mhm.
So that must have been frustrating for you with this album, like, rollout.
I think it's unfortunate. I think I still put out really good videos for the sake of art.
Mhm.
You know, I think the Don't Make Me Love You video is an incredible,
It's
video of the year.
beautiful.
Hello.
Yes.
And I think the video is a work of art as well. And I even said that in my post. I said, you know, in an age where people are just doing stunts to get your attention, like there's not a lot of art being put out. And I'm like, don't just watch this because it's my music video. Watch it because this is Child, the director's
Mhm.
art. And
Yeah.
it's so good. That happened. And I think that's unfortunate. I also think that like radio not having the significance it used to have, like a radio campaign used to kind of be coupled with a song.
Mhm.
It was like, this is the song, this is the radio
You get the
campaign
simultaneous push.
simultaneously. And then streaming was the third leg. Now, radio out of the way. When a song comes out, if it doesn't stream a certain amount, it won't go to radio. Like, radio campaigns are now built around streams.
It's backwards. So it
Yes.
used to be that one informed the other, and now
Yes.
it's this way, that it has to pop off on streaming first.
Yes, and this is as of late. This is,
Mhm.
everyone was trying to come at me when I was like, yeah, I was a radio darling. And they were like, well, streaming's been a thing since 2016. And I'm like, yeah, duh. But
Not
it
tabulated in this way.
You don't that's what I'd be like, you on the internet. You're not signed to a major label. You're not an artist.
Yeah.
You don't get it. And this is what I've been doing since 2016. I've watched it change. I know what I'm talking about, sweetie. Sit back
Mhm.
and learn.
Yes.
Their radio campaigns and singles used to be hand in hand. And now if you don't stream a certain amount, there is no radio campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm a radio darling. Like, I'm an iHeart queen. Like, and my
You
fans,
make music that goes on the radio and plays around the world. Like,
I'm a pop star.
when I'm in Singapore, I hear you in the cab on the way to the grocery store. Like, that's the
Hello.
place to be.
And
Yeah.
that's what people don't, it's not clicking to them because they're so stream obsessed and like number obsessed. And I'm like, I get it, honey, but this is how the business works. And this is how the business has changed in the last 3 years.
Mhm.
Straight up. And so that part also has shifted the landscape with pop. And I think now people are just like, I think something really crazy happened when do you remember on TikTok when musical artists started going on and being like, my label's telling me to make a TikTok, so now I have
Yeah.
to make it. Like, that
Mhm.
was like the trend for a while. Like, a bunch of artists were doing that because that was actually happening. And now it's like the artist is actually everything.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do it all.
You are the social media manager.
Yes.
You are the content production house.
Yes.
You do everything. And that is such an incredible weight to carry on top of making amazing music,
Yes.
which really should be your full-time job.
Right.
Having to do and wear all of those hats at once seems so stressful.
Yeah. But I also am a part of it's partly my fault because I was a part of a generation of artists who like did that naturally, like
Mhm.
me and Little Nas X and Billie
Well, because
Eilish.
you were such a
and-
successful independent artist for so long as well. This isn't an unfamiliar game to you. It's just the tools are different.
Yes, and it was fun,
Mhm.
and it still is fun for me. And I remember when it turned from me just like, fucking around on social media to like, this is what you have to do. I was like, whoa. I was like, what do you mean is what I
I
have
thought
to
this was for
do?
fun.
Literally. And they were like, there's a label that had, when in the early days, had a Lizzo, they called it the Lizzo department as a joke for their like artist TikTok relations. Cause I
Wow.
was like,
The
just,
blueprint.
I was just,
The blueprint. Because you've been on TikTok.
oh my God, since Renegade, I
Mm-hmm.
was on Ellen doing
You
it.
were not Ellen.
That's how you know. Well, I was in a part of a, I wasn't, I was a part of the clips
The Renegade too. Oh my God.
for
That's
Renegade.
prehistoric.
Yeah, you got to do it yourself now. It's a complete DIY, and then that's the thing. That's how it is. So you do it yourself, and then the people come and they go, "Oh, we love you, blah blah blah. We love what you're doing." And then that's when the label steps in and go, "Okay, let's see if we can amplify this." And power to the people. Like, power to us. Power to us. I'm part of the people still. Not in this industry whatsoever. Don't have any industry ties at all. Part of the people. We are the people. Shout out to the people. But I do, like, still in a sense hate where we are, because now me being the people, and actively, at least every day in my day-to-day life, discovering new music, discovering new artists, and listening to them, it just, I'm kind of like appalled at, like, why hasn't the industry caught up to this person or that person, wanted to give this person a bigger look or that person a bigger look? Why are they still kind of staying in the same lane when you could always still, like, keep the balance? Like, we need balance. Hip hop music is supposed to be fun. Pop music is supposed to be fun, but it always should be some balance. And so I feel like my problem more so with the label is how they discover and go venture out and find new artists, instead of, like, actually going out and doing the footwork for it, and really going to these clubs, going to these open mics, listening to these amateur artists, like, getting to know them, getting to hear their story and whatnot. They're just letting us, the people, or at least the internet people, they're letting us, dictate who they should sign, who they should promote, who they should invest in. And while, like I said, power to the people, I feel like that was never the label's job was to provide the music, and the people go, oh, we like this, or we like this coming from this person, not the other way around. Like, we shouldn't be doing the work. I should not be doing the work for Young Miami's label or Tim's label, and telling them, hey, this is the one, you should push this, this is peak, I love this song, this will go crazy. And then they start pushing it. They should, like, it shouldn't be on me or my shoulders, or us anywhere who say we love something when it first comes out because it's actually really good. Like, no, they should have enough confidence in it to go, hey, this song is one of them ones. Let's really put some marketing money or whatever. Let's push the fucking button and get this out to the masses so everybody can hear it, because this song is one of them ones. But unfortunately, the execs, the people that run these labels, they're not musically inclined. So yeah, they're coming to the niggas that are. Like me, Screwface John, list of other, Lost in Vegas, list of B-Lou and Zayas, name any reactor below. That's who the labels are watching, as far as, like, and then that's the thing. Even some of those guys are skewed now, so you can't really even trust their opinion. It's nasty fucking work what we got going on here in this music sphere. But I'm at least here to be as objective as I always can be, and give you my 2 cents and tell you the truth, whether it be the harsh truth or not, some truth that you don't want to hear. It indeed is that, and that being the truth. Call me Paul Pierce. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.